So this video is my argument as to why shields and space engineers just are bad and why you shouldn't use them. And you might be saying, well, I think shields are pretty good actually. And that's the problem. Shields in this game are pretty overpowered. And it pretty much starts and ends at what they take to use. Shields in this game take power. Power is a generally underutilized resource. You do need it for bases, but generally needing a large amount of power output, i.e., on the scale of 1, 2, 3 large reactors, only happens if you're trying to deal with railguns charging, jump drives charging, or for some reason, if you're one of those people putting a laser antenna up at 200,000 kilometers for no reason whatsoever, because that drains like 500 gigawatts. Point is, the only nice thing I can say about shields is that they're taking advantage of an underutilized resource, which is power, which we have a lot of options for generating, and we have a lot of options for generating a lot of it, but we don't have that much that will use that much power. So then we have the general rule of thumb for shields, which is that more shields requires more power, which means that the more power you have, the more shields you have. And generally, bigger ships have more power, which means they have more shield. And this is where our problems begin. Because currently, I could describe the space engineer's balance as kind of a majestic tango between large ships and small ships with a whole bunch of combat theory and railgun jousting and distance control and 2-on-1 stuff that I'm probably going to explain in another video. But it's pretty well balanced around a set ship size. Building a massive ship in this game right now, while possible, isn't the best of ideas because you're just going to get killed by people building smaller ships that can dodge you and keep range control and then beat you up. Basically, PvP in this game kind of soft caps the size of ships because if you get too large, you'll get clapped by smaller, more maneuverable ships. With shields, this is flipped on its head. Larger ships can output more power and have more internal space for more shield generators and shield producers or whatever they use to make shields go, which means shield gets pretty big pretty quickly, and at some point, the smaller ships, which before were able to basically war of attrition, slowly deal damage to the bigger ships until they inevitably were forced to retreat because it wasn't worth it anymore or they died, now can't do anything because the shield just regenerates. So smaller ships are effectively made useless by the fact that shields can just ignore them. This results in an arms race of people building bigger ships and bigger ships and bigger ships with more guns trying to counter your shields on your bigger ships. And as anyone could expect, that's not that great for the server, and that's not great for gameplay either. Just holding W onto another enemy ship, where it's really just a war of whose ship is bigger, isn't fun, and isn't good on server performance, and is generally just really dull. It's not interesting combat. It also means that skill and strategy don't really play as much into your fight as they would in a normal vanilla fight. In normal vanilla combat, building a quality ship can be better than building a bigger ship. And in that sense, also playing well and knowing how your opponent is going to move, what they are going to do, and being able to coordinate between people is always a very good idea and is extremely effective. When we go into shields combat, especially with really big ships, it just becomes my ship is big and it's tanking a lot of hits and it's never going to die. And the only way to defeat that is by building another bigger ship. You lose all of the substance that was there in normal combat, and it just makes everything so terrible and not fun to play in. So, yeah, that's why I don't like using shields, and mostly people think shields are they break game balance, not fun to play in. Now what? Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later.